Hello everybody, welcome to Chakras Applied to Life, where we are going to talk about what is this about chakras that everybody is talking about, or many people, and what is the meaning, and especially how we can apply it in a practical way to our lives. We have here today Pauline Moran.
Hello.
British from Liverpool, who is doing meditation for many years, and she started as a practitioner student, but since how many years ago you are doing the...
About 33 years now.
Mm-hmm. And every week she's organizing a class and meditation to talk about precisely chakras and all the energy that is in our bodies. Now she will explain more in details. If you can, you want to listen to understand the chakras, follow us. Well, Pauline, I'm very curious about the chakras. What is the meaning of all these colors, of all the symbols here? Can you explain a little more in detail the subtle system for us, please?
Yeah, sure. So when we talk about the subtle system, we are beings of many dimensions. So we know we're physical, we know we're mental, we know we're emotional beings. But when we talk about the subtle system, we're talking about our etheric self, or our energetic self, esoteric self, if you know, is another way of looking at it. And within the subtle system, which, you know, in Western medicine, we believe that the first part of our self to be laid down within the fetus is, or the embryo, is the central nervous system. But in Eastern philosophy, we would hold that it's the subtle system. It's almost like that very idea of ourself is laid down first of all, which the central nervous system builds up around, and the meridian system builds around, and then eventually the physical system. Okay,
that's very deep. Let's continue.
Okay, yeah. And if you like, this dimension that we're talking about today, you know, physical beings made of matter, well, matter comes and goes. But this dimension that we're talking about today is that because it's made of energy, it's an energetic dimension of ourself. Well, you cannot destroy energy. You can transform energy and change energy, but you cannot destroy it. So what we're talking about today is that eternal dimension of ourself, okay? That has always been and always will be. So, and this eternal aspect of ourself exists as the Kundalini energy at the base of the spine, in the sacrum bone. So called sacrum because it was aware that the sacrum had a very sacred purpose. So this very profound but subtle energy is located within this very strong bone, triangular bone within the body, the sacrum.
And the Kundalini is the energy that flows, or what is?
Yeah, it's that the energy, that energetic dimension of ourself that resides within us. And when we have the desire, will flow through the chakra system. And once it flows through the chakra system and reaches Sahasrara chakra, it then connects with that greater, all-pervading, omnipotent power, energy, force, divinity, whichever name you want to call it, that exists all around us.
The infinite source of energy, or God. Maybe some people call it God.
Absolutely, yeah. Some people call it God, some people call it nature. Everybody has a different reference point, but we kind of know we're talking about the same thing. Yeah.
So the energy flows from here to here to here and then goes back, or how does it work?
Okay, so what actually happens is that through our own desire, so this isn't something that somebody can give you, you already have it. And it's our desire to be at one with this dimension of ourself, which, if you like, prompts the Kundalini energy to unfurl from its 3.5 coils, pass through each of the physical chakra and reach the fontanelle, or crown chakra, or Sahasrara chakra. And it's at this point that, yes, it makes contact with that greater all-pervading power that's around us, that's part of us, we're part of it, but we actually make that connection at Sahasrara. And the Kundalini, as it passes through each chakra, performs various functions.
What is the meaning concretely of every chakra?
Of each
chakras?
chakra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we have Muladhara chakra, which is the base chakra, and this is where we ground ourselves. So it's, if you like, it's the roots of the tree, of this tree of life. So the Muladhara chakra corresponds with the nerves which emerge from the sacrum, the cordia equina set of nerves, which travel down the back of the leg and under the feet, the front and the back of the leg and under the feet. So we can ground ourselves either by sitting on the ground, ideally Mother Nature, the earth, or we can have our feet on the ground. So we can sit in a chair and have our feet on the ground, and it's still in contact with this, the Muladhara chakra. So the Muladhara chakra, the base chakra, is to do with our innocence, wisdom and innocence, and almost, if you like, that innocence where we say, out of the mouths of babes, they see life simply, they put it simply, and it's that wisdom, eternal wisdom, that sometimes doesn't need words, but this is, the absolute root of the whole system.
What is the next second one?
Okay, so this is Swadhisthana chakra, and this is to do with creativity. So this is creativity not only on the physical level, but also creativity in art, in literature, in diagnosis, where medicine's concerned, creating something from nothing. And the ideal at this level here is that we create through inspiration. So we don't force creativity. We allow ourselves to be inspired and then to manifest that inspiration. So you see here that we have 3 channels. So the left side channel is related to our emotional self and stuff from the past. And the right side channel is more related to our mental and doing self and projecting into the future.
So emotion and mental.
Yeah, emotional, mental, doing also. And I'll jump a little bit ahead, but when these 2 channels come into balance in meditation, we enter the center channel, or the Kundalini enters the center channel. If this is thinking, and this is thinking and this is feeling, the central channel is about knowing. Absolutely, we know.
By intuition, I guess, like knowing by
or gut
naturally.
instinct, yeah. It's an absolute gut knowledge that, we don't waver between head and heart. We don't waver between worrying about the future or the past. In this moment, we absolutely know a direction, a decision.
Interesting. Okay, let's go to the third one. We're here already.
Yeah. Okay, so this is to do with grounding, innocence and wisdom. This one here is to do with creativity, in thought, in decoration, every area of life. But also, of course, the reproductive organs are located at this level too. So then we move up to Nabi chakra. And Nabi chakra, and when we say chakra, it's a lovely esoteric term, but each chakra corresponds with a major nerve plexus within the body. So here we're looking at the solar plexus, and here we're looking at the aortic plexus. So this is to do with the solar plexus, so it's all to do with the nerve impulses into the gut and also into the major organs, the liver, the kidneys, spleen, the abdomen. It's all to do with our nutrition, and the qualities located at Nabi chakra are to do with satisfaction. So not only satisfaction with our menu of the day or whatever it is we've just eaten, but also satisfaction in life. So we may not have everything we need. We can continue working towards what we need, but nevertheless we can be satisfied with what we have. It's about not forever striving for the next thing, so it has to be the next house that's bigger and the next car that's newer. It's satisfaction. I'm in this place, this is what I have. I can work to acquire more, but I'm satisfied right now. I'm content.
When we see, yes.
Sorry, no comment.
When we see here like circles or similar to a circle, what is like a vortex of energy, right? It's like twisting.
Yeah, chakra means wheel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's wheel of energy. So when the energy is flowing, when we're in the flow, the energy is moving in a clockwise direction. If our energy becomes drained because we're overdoing it, or a chakra, for instance, at the heart level, if there's an emotional block, then this can drain our energy. If we're too busy with our ego, it can drain this channel of energy, so that instead of the energy moving in a clockwise direction, it kind of grinds to a halt, so we can feel exhausted. And then where illness is concerned, the energy may begin to move in an anti-clockwise direction, but this is a real sign of illness. And this is where we have drained our channels of energy, and by our lifestyle, created a blockage in this flow of energy along the central nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
But there are techniques of clearing the blockage.
So as long as they are flowing properly, the energy flows freely, let's say, but when there are blocks in one of them or some of them, the energy doesn't go as we could like.
As easily, yeah. I mean, the Kundalini strives to, the direction it moves into, it ascends, and to reach Sahasrara chakra and connect with that greater, all-pervading, omnipotent Parachaitanya. Everybody has a different word for it. And I have to say as well, each chakra corresponds with each of the 7 great faiths in the world.
The 7?
Great faiths in the world. So, we're talking Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and the others. And so each of those faiths we have within us, and if we find that we actively disagree with other faiths' teachings, the pure teachings, then actually we're probably a little bit in conflict with ourselves, because they're more or less saying the same thing. We're all heading to one direction, but we're on different motorways. So, and all the different faiths, each chakra opened at a stage in man's evolution when a great teacher or master arrived with the message for opening these energy centres. And we're now at Sahasrara chakra. So we're about to enter a whole new age.
So, okay, let's go back to the heart chakra. What is the...
Okay. Before we go to heart chakra, I should also point out that we have Nabhi chakra, which is to do with satisfaction, but it's also very connected to being your own guru, your own master. So if this guru principle within ourselves, and the message is we are our own guru, what I need to live my life is different from what you need to live your life. So we can teach this system, but ultimately, and we all have, nobody can give us Kundalini, we have this Kundalini with us, like the seed of the plant, the tree that we become, that we are. And so this void that we have around this umbilicus chakra.
So the green color
is the void.
Is the void? Mm-hmm.
Referred to as the void of illusion. It's kind of like how we see life with our ego, our conditioning, our experiences. But it's not. It's like not seeing the whole of life, the whole of existence accurately, the truth. But when we meditate and the Kundalini passes through this chakra, we reconnect. It's, if you like, it's a severance when the umbilicus is cut with that divine realm that we've emerged from. And when we meditate and the Kundalini once again passes through this chakra, it reconnects. So it's as though when the umbilicus is cut, somebody removed, or two rungs are removed, not somebody, but two rungs are removed from this ladder that we have within us to this heavenly point within us. And when we meditate and the Kundalini rises along the central nervous system, or the central nervous system, then Ida Nadi. Nadi means channel. So as it rises through the Ida Nadi, and passes through each chakra, it connects. So here we have the void of illusion, and it's also very much, it's connected with our own guru principle that we have within us, our holy grail. And when I said earlier that, we all have different directions in life, different goals in life that we incarnated to achieve. So what you need is different from what I need. But when we access this guru principle within us, this centrality, this balance, this in this moment knowing, then we have cleared beyond the void and we can go further. And this is like, if we go against this chakra within us, so we go against our gut instinct, then that's the time we can maybe act with some anxiety. So this is the point that we could feel butterflies if we go against our hunch, our instincts. So yeah, this is the void of illusion.
Yeah, many times we also feel pain because of the stress that is reflected here.
Absolutely. The irritable bowel syndrome epidemic, the focus people have on money, and yes, this rush of life that we live within will upset this chakra here. Satisfied, peacefulness, inner wisdom, inner knowledge.
And then the love.
Yeah, relationships. Yeah, absolutely. So because we have the three channels, there are three aspects to the chakra. So on the left side, this channel is associated, or the left aspect of the chakra is related to the stereotypical mother qualities of nurturing and caring, looking after us. And on the left-hand side, this aspect of the heart chakra, or anahat, is corresponds with the stereotypical qualities of fatherhood. So obviously in modern life now, that doesn't always exist. Yeah, it is. But
there is always a predominant part of like women have predominantly feminine energy, and men have masculine energy.
But I really couldn't comment on that. But I say stereotypically, the archetypal images of mother and father, and then in the centre, the heart chakra of the self. But this is the self with the capital S. So our parents, on the left and the right, or left and right qualities of this chakra, they have an influence on us up until a certain age. And in an ideal world, it's our parents who provide the security and discipline and the nurturing and caring, which encourages us and gives us the confidence to be our true self. So not just to be, a role within the family, not to be forever beholden to our parents, but the idea is they nurture us to the point where we are able to fulfill our own path. So this chakra here is very much to do with having the courage and confidence to be ourselves, with a big S, capital S. Yeah. And also of course, our relationships as adults impact on these chakras too.
As adults, and also when we are children, with the as you say, the parents.
Yeah, and then as adults, when the parents are no longer physically in our day-to-day lives, perhaps, maybe we've left home, so they're not there to tell us what to do and prepare our meals, but they hopefully have prepared us well for independent living and to achieve our potential in life, to become self-realised, to realise the potential we were born with, and I would personally say to realise the potential we chose to incarnate to fulfill. And, you know, it's a very, very important chakra, and there can be lots of work, you know. We go into relationships, we suffer heartaches, and this is it's an important chakra to clear in order for the Kundalini to rise, whether it's parental figures from the past or relationships from the present. There's usually something to work out.
It is in the middle, so I suppose has an important role.
Yeah, it's hard to say that any chakra is not important, but certainly when our heart stops beating, it's quite important.
And then we go up, and this is like communication, about communication and truth. Mm-hmm.
Communication, existing within the collective. So how do we exist within the collective? Through communication, through speaking to our neighbours, family, work colleagues. So this is all about communication, and there are various qualities which can block this chakra of communication, this area. Certainly feelings of guilt on the left-hand side, and arrogant or dominating speech and swearing on the right-hand side. So if, as children, for instance, we're made to feel guilty, we might defend ourselves quite forcibly, quite verbally. And that pattern can stay with us into adulthood, both the feeling guilty, even though it might not be rational, and also that need to defend ourselves vociferously. Okay, but ultimately, when this chakra is in balance, and like with all the chakras, there are various techniques we use to bring about the balance, and it happens in meditation, then we communicate better, and we have more satisfying relationships around us.
And when we say something that, for example, is not true, that chakra is affected. It's like we are lying to ourselves, and then we cannot cheat the energy, our energy.
No, because we would then develop, consciously or unconsciously, I would suggest, I can't speak for everybody else, but we would feel guilty about it. So, and when we feel guilty, it puts this chakra out of a balanced state. And what's quite important also at this level is that the nerves at the brachial plexus, so from the cervical spine and across the brachial plexus, which come down the arms, give us the ability to feel the condition of the chakra on our hands. So if the 3 channels and 7 chakras are, if you like, our inner guide or our inner computer, then our hands are the computer screen to the states of what's happening on those chakras. Which ones might be blocked?
It's a reflection of the chakra on our fingertips.
On our hand, on the palms of our hand, on the soles of our feet, on the top of the head around Sahasrara, also in the joints, and on various parts of the body. Forearms are associated with the heart, as are the lower leg associated with the heart. The knees are associated with Nabhi chakra. So Vishuddha chakra is on the index finger, the one we point with. And Agnya chakra is on the ring finger. And this is the finger of ego, superego. It's the finger that we put a ring on to remind us in our relationships that our ego has its place. And then we have Sahasrara chakra, which is the culmination of all the chakras together. So when the Kundalini begins to rise, and what makes the Kundalini rise is our desire to be at one with ourselves and with the greater, all-pervading
universal source of
power,
energy.
Force, yeah. So the Kundalini, when it reaches Sahasrara, brings these 2 channels into balance. And sometimes there are mantras that we can say if there are blockages in any chakra that's kind of preventing the Kundalini from rising up until the fontanelle. And there are lots of lovely techniques using all the natural elements which also help to clear the chakras. which we can practice, at any time, not only in meditation. And then when the Kundalini rises, all these chakras are integrated at Sahasrara.
That is the chakra that connects with the, as we say, however you want to call it. But
Truth.
We have jumped the sixth chakra. It's about the vision, right? Tell us more about the sixth chakra.
Okay, so Agnya chakra is the point at which the left side channel and the right side channel cross. So because the Kundalini travels along the central nervous system, at the back of the eyes we have the optic chiasma. So at this point here, these three channels arrive almost, if you like, at a roundabout. So just like in life, if we're driving along the road and we come to a roundabout, we have to let other traffic go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we have to do to clear this chakra here. We have to let go. So we have to let go any feelings of anger or resentment, whether to ourselves or to other people. Because if you like, this is the doorway into the kingdom of heaven. So, and we can't be in a heavenly state if we're angry or resentful. So the message here at this level is from the last great teacher or master who was on earth, deity, God, is Jesus. And the message from Christianity is to forgive. So here the mantra we use in English is to say, I forgive everybody and I forgive myself. And at this level here as well, we also have the incarnation of Buddha and Sri Mahavira. So, but the message is about ego, superego. So getting rid of stuff from the past, getting rid of any feelings of anger, outwardly or inwardly. And when we're able to do that, and we may just say it in the beginning as a affirmation, but words are things. When we say something enough, it manifests. Okay, and there is also,
and we
of course,
believe strongly, personally,
yeah,
in some things when they start materializing.
yeah.
I wonder where all this knowledge, all this wisdom come from. What was originated this philosophy?
Okay, well, this is a very, very ancient form of yoga. And this symbol here, the 3.5 coils, exists on stones, monolithic stones, which are located all around the world. So we have them here in Liverpool on Calderstones, in Calderstones Park. They're reproduced on stones in Scotland, Mexico, anywhere you can think of. Where these old stones are located, this symbol, you will come across this symbol. And it has been brought into the 20th and 21st century, the knowledge. Because we're at the stage now where, it's said we don't have to go and sit halfway up a mountain in the Himalayas and take 3 lifetimes to clear each chakra. Because we now have the strength and the qualities of all the chakras to clear the whole system in one go when we meditate. And the knowledge has been brought into the 20th and 21st century by a great teacher. And that's where I learned it over 30 years ago.
So the ideal situation where all the chakras are flowing properly, and then the Kundalini is flowing and perfectly, what happens? Do you become a super being? I mean, what is the ideal situation when all the energy is flowing perfectly?
To be at one with ourselves, to be at one with the collective, to be at one with that greater all-pervading power that everybody has a different name for. And it's like returning to the source. So we are drops in the ocean, each one of us, individual. And,
But
well, a drop on its own.
the ocean is in every of us.
Absolutely. So without each one of us, there is no ocean. We are manifesting that ocean. And ideally, we manifest it in a flow, as a collective. And ultimately, what we gain from feeling at one within the collective, within the greater, is feelings of peace and joy. And certainly the teacher who taught this, the great teacher who taught this system to me, her words were, there is only one country, and that country is love. So we are all inhabitants, that's what life is. It's about love. And the opposite of that will lead to our destruction. So we always aspire to ascend. It's a natural drive. And in practicing this meditation, that's exactly what we do. We integrate the system within ourselves, and we become integrated in all that is around us, the collective.
And we reach that calm joy.
Joy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, people talk about finding balance. Okay, this is balance between the emotion and the mental. It's balance between the past and the future. It's this moment now, which is really all that matters. And people talk about finding balance to be happy. Well, happy has a duality. You can be happy and unhappy. But joy has no duality. Joy just is. So, very nice.
That is where all we are aiming to go.
To be?
Well, and to be, exactly.
Yeah.
We could keep talking for hours, but I think it has been a great introduction, and to know about the meaning of every chakra and more things. So I really appreciate your time for being here, and it has been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Pauline, and thank you very much for you who has been listening, and I hope you have learned very useful things as I have done. And well, see you in the next video. See you, Pauline.
Okay.